Hey everyone, Movie Club here, and today we're watching Our Fault. What could be worse than flying to your best friend's wedding and, right in the airport, seeing your ex on the cover of Forbes? Your stepbrother and once great love, the one you can't forget even after 4 long years. And the gorgeous Noah has to numb the trauma with a giant chocolate bar. At least the seatmate turns out charming. After the flight, he even asks her out, but you can't command the heart. Very soon she'll face that old love again, because the bride and groom want to reunite the pair, and they invited Nick as best man and Noah as maid of honor. Right after Noah, Nick shows up at the bride's house on Ibiza, and she, flustered, hides like a silly schoolgirl. Then she fakes lively chit-chat with guests who praise her English since she studied philology, but now works at a restaurant. Here comes another awkward moment. There's also a suitor she slept with and never called back. This wedding is just a stress test for nerves. She barely escapes the unlucky lover when she runs into Nick, and he silently walks past with a stone face. But the newlyweds planned everything. At the rehearsal, they seat Noah in Nick's car. The two rack up miles in deathly silence, sneaking glances at each other. Then, without a word, they nervously try to decide, air the cabin out or not. The trials don't end there, because at rehearsal, the exes are made to walk arm in arm toward the altar, and at dinner, they're seated side by side, and their tense faces only soften at the sight of a rascal toddler sneaking a sip of champagne. Suddenly, Noah notices Nick never removed the tattoo she inked for him. In the morning, the bride and groom tearfully say their vows, and the bouquet lands in Noah's hands, with Nick watching and smiling. The newlyweds keep pouring fuel on the rekindled fire, forcing the two to dance together. The pair finally talk, and minutes later they slip away and make love with wild abandon. Coming to his senses, Nick dresses in silence and leaves, because the image of his girlfriend's betrayal still burns before his eyes. Life rolls on. Noah returns to Marbella, gets her diploma, quits the restaurant, and scrapes by on odd jobs for a few months. One day a cyclist knocks her over, and the poor thing heads to the hospital to clean the scrapes, where psychiatrist Michael works. He'd been an advisor at her university, and he's the one Noah cheated with on Nick. Back then, Michael was fired in disgrace for a relationship with a student, then someone tattled to the hospital as well, and now he's facing another dismissal. Nick, meanwhile, is in London at a meeting of his corporation. He inherited it recently and wants to chase new tech and conquer the virtual space. And Noah, in Marbella, rushes to an interview at a company building exactly that kind of content. A motorcyclist cuts her off, waves at the stunner, and she flips off the pest with a rude gesture. And he turns out to be Noah's future boss, and the very same seatmate from the plane. The boss doesn't take offense and hires the bold girl as his assistant. For now, the firm is wobbly. For example, the coffee-serving robot suddenly glitches, meows, and hurls insults. Nick, bored and heartsick, amuses himself with the beauty Sophia. She's not the first in his house and won't be the last, as the lingerie strewn everywhere proves. The heir has money problems and has to fire staff at the Spanish office run by his father. Furious workers left without pay stage a demonstration, and one father of many even beats the boss in front of reporters. Watching the mess on TV, Nick scrolls Noah's photos on social media. That evening, he runs into Sophia again, and she jokes maybe they should meet less so she won't get illusions. He suddenly proposes an engagement, supposedly to polish his image. Meanwhile, Simon asks Noah to help draft a growth plan for the company. She nails it. The boss thanks her with dinner, and swept up in feelings, tries to kiss her. The beauty doesn't want to rush the romance. In the morning, the office awaits an investor, and Simon and Noah playfully arm wrestle. The loser makes coffee for all. While everyone's laughing, the rich investor walks in, and it's Nick. He darkens at the coquette's sight and tears into Simon. Are they working here or fooling around? The boss talks up the assistant's key role, but Nick says her job is to serve coffee. He rudely sends her for it, and the pair trade covert, probing looks. It seems they're enemies now. In the evening, Nick tells Sophia that the new company is a total mess, and he'll have to stay in Marbella. At least their engagement is in all the news, and the stock is rising. They're successful together. The fiancé stresses. But the heir still can't take his eyes off Noah, jealously watching her and Simon laugh, holding hands. Noah tells her friend she's thinking of dating Simon because he's kind and steady, And with Nick, it's time to turn the page, and the beauty demonstratively flips one in a magazine. Suddenly, she actually flinches, seeing a full spread about Nick's engagement. The past also resurfaces in Michael, who spots her with her friend. He swoops in with accusations that they only spent one night together, and her brother insisted he be fired. She didn't know that and, rattled, calls Sophia, who confirms everything. Then Noah begs them to leave the psychiatrist alone, because the cheating was her fault. Next, the girl visits her mother and stepfather, whose family situation is tangled. It recently came out that Will's first wife, Nick's father, has another child by him, a girl named Maggie. Her brother brings the girl over, and the kid trolls Nick, asking him to fetch her coffee, because here she's not his subordinate, but his sister. Suddenly, she feels ill and bolts to the bathroom, where she vomits hard. In the morning, Nick rages and bans any relationships in the office, even friendly ones. Simon protests. It's obviously because of him and Noah, but there's nothing he can do. The assistant warns that Nick is hunting for an excuse to kick him out of his own firm. He doesn't care about the company. He won't give up the woman he loves. They spend the night together, and in the morning the office learns Nick has installed cameras everywhere to spy on staff. That's the last straw, and Noah slaps a resignation on the heir's desk. He starts making moves on her, but she says it's too late. He couldn't forgive her, so he should accept reality, especially since he himself is marrying Sophia. Then she drives Maggie to the girl's mom, and Nick heads there too. Suddenly, the mother tells him she's dying soon and wants to transfer custody of the daughter to Will. That's why she revealed the child years ago, already knowing the diagnosis. In a few days, she has emergency surgery, and Maggie needs to be taken back to her father and stepmother. Nick and Noah bring the girl home, and there he asks the beauty to stay. Noah says that would only make everything worse, and Nick answers it can't get worse. They spend the night lost in each other, and in the morning she quietly slips away again. In the car, Noah sobs. What kind of spell is this? Suddenly she notices her skirt is soaked in blood and rushes to the hospital, where she learns she's pregnant. Already 4 months. Michael walks by and, wanting to learn the diagnosis, snoops in her medical file. Then he tells Sophia that the conception date neatly matches the date of that wedding where she and Nick reunited. What headlines they'll make. Financier knocks up his stepsister. It will hit Nick, and it will hit Sophia's father's campaign. And as soon as the heir finds out, he'll come running on hind legs to the pregnant girlfriend. So if Sophia doesn't want that, she should help ensure Michael isn't fired. Sophia meets Noah at a party and says Michael won't be touched, hinting that in return, Noah should keep her secret. And then Nick and Noah keep playing at happiness with people they don't love. The heir grabs a moment to invite the beauty back to work, but their partners return at the worst moment and interrupt. Nick pulls his love around a corner and kisses her passionately, and Sophia sees the scene. Noah feels sick, and the smitten man drives her home, dumping his fiancée. He wants to stay with her, but she says they've changed. Their lives are different now, and their shared story is over. They meet next at his mother's funeral. Sophia lays her cards on the table and tells Noah about the blackmail. The girl says she'll leave tomorrow to stay with an aunt and won't come back, so Nick will learn nothing. After that, she breaks up with Simon, and Nick unexpectedly breaks it off with Sophia. The fiancé says he's vengeful and touchy, shuts down from fear of pain. He sulked at his parents, and now he won't forgive Noah. And his former love needs him badly right now, so he should go find her. Nick sincerely thanks Sophia for her kindness and says he loves her, though not the way she wants. Next day, Michael is fired, and he's furious that the blackmail failed. He's called to a last patient, an old acquaintance who lost her mind after her son's death. And Noah is already saying goodbye to friends by her car when Nick arrives. The pregnant woman hisses, "Who blabbed?" and hides her belly with a cat carrier. She tries to run off, but the heir won't quit and offers to start over. From scratch, just the two of them. She laughs that just the two is off the table now and shows the bump. Nick grandly replies that it doesn't matter who the father is. He'll accept the child as his own. Noah rolls her eyes and drives off, and friends yell that he's an idiot. The baby is his. Nick tears after his love by car and shouts to her from the window. At last, she softens and jokes, asks him not to speed because he'll be paying child support. She's rushing to the estate to tell her mom she'll be a grandma. They arrive and, smiling, walk toward each other. And then the fired father of many shoots Nick. The heir bleeds out and loses consciousness, and he wakes up in the hospital to see Noah without a belly. Turns out he was in a coma a long time. Finally, he's released home, and the whole family snuggles in bed. Noah walks into the kitchen and notices the dog fidgeting in the yard. Suddenly, a deranged former patient of Michael's appears in the bedroom with a knife and grabs the baby. Weakened Nick is almost helpless, but secretly presses the panic button to call the police. And Michael attacks Noah. He brought the madwoman with him. Everyone is saved by the loyal dog. He startles Michael, who tumbles out the window. And while the lunatic is distracted by the thud, Noah snatches her son back. Sometime later, the whirlwind couple finally marries, and the bouquet goes to Sophia. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.